Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite videos or one of my most worst shifts I ever experienced here. One of my friends was here when this happened. It was actually the day where I posted that video where I said that two of my customers fought or whatnot. Yeah, and they were actually our friends but still our customers here, and something actually funny that happened that day. The moment, okay, sorry, I thought something out here was happening. The moment my friend fought my other friend because he was drunk or whatever, he ended up, his girlfriend, as you saw in the video, was trying to control him, and to try to stop the situation, stop him from fighting our friend, she ended up ordering him an Uber, which he actually got on and went home all the way to Maywood. But then, since he said that his mom needed his vehicle, he ended up actually ordering an Uber back here to this 7-Eleven. Yeah, he went from here to Maywood and then came back because he was drunk. And what was I gonna say? Point is, after all that had happened, there was a regular that came in, and despite me never seeing him before, he said he lived around here. He was a regular. He actually, I said this in the description of the video. He actually ordered a pizza like for me to make, and he was even waiting here for it. And he claimed that I had burned it or something. Like, for those of you that speak Spanish, he actually told me in Spanish, he was like, "Me la quemaste," because I hit cook more on it, which we're supposed to do with the pizzas. We're supposed to hit cook more. And I told him that I didn't burn it, that I'm supposed to hit cook more, and that I've burnt pizzas before and I know what a real burnt pizza looks like. Because the thing is, yeah, not just me but other employees, we have pictures of burnt pizzas, and I'll show it right now later in another part of the video. But yeah, we have pictures of burnt pizzas, and this guy that was saying I burnt his pizza, which I really didn't, and then he was asking me if I could make him another one, which I told him no. Then he asked me if I could give him his money back, which again, I've done that before and I got in trouble. I'm not supposed to be doing refunds. Only the store owner and manager can do that. So I was like, I'm not going to give him a refund and get in trouble again. And he was just yelling at me in Spanish, saying that his pizza was burnt. Then he asked me and said, he's like, I know he knows that I have kids because people do this all the time. But he literally asked, he's like, would you feed your kids a pizza all burnt like this? And he got mad because I told him it wasn't burnt. And he starts saying many things. He starts saying like, I'm always here. He's like, I never get my pizza like this. And then my friend that was here for that situation, he was standing right there like always, just chilling, eating a bag of chips or something. And the guy that was complaining was standing right there. And then he asked my buddy, he was like, look at the pizza. He's like, is it burnt or what? Give me a minute, please. Okay, sorry, I had to shut that thing up. But yeah, he asked my friend, he was like, oh, he's like, is the pizza burnt to you or what? And then my friend said exactly what I said. He was like, it comes out like that. And for some reason, the guy was like, no, it doesn't. He's like, I'm always here. And he got even more mad because I told him, I was like, my buddy's always here too. I'm like, he lives right across the street from here, actually. Because he does. My friend Shaggy, he lives literally right across the street. Like, it literally takes him 10 or 15 seconds to walk here. 5 seconds if he runs. I've been to their house. We used to hang out, and yeah, he's been here more times than that guy that was complaining has. And after I'll show this later in another video, but a few days later, like 2 or 3 days later, he actually left a bad review about me, saying that some guy with a smart mouth that I burned his pizza and whatnot. And yeah, when I saw the review, of course I started looking at other reviews, and yeah, there are more bad reviews about me and just about every other employee here too. Everybody, even the store owner. Even the store owner himself has really bad reviews, which honestly, like, you can't blame them. People always find mistakes about everybody. They always have something to criticize you about, right? But my point is, hold on. What's up, man? Sorry about that. Someone came in to use the bathroom. But yeah, like I was saying, after that man had left a bad review, I showed others, I showed my friends, and I even told them that one of the customers that saw the review even said, he's like, isn't that how the pizza always looks? After he said it was burnt, but it really wasn't. they're gonna do right now. Give me one sec. Sorry about that. A police officer was in here using the bathroom and asking me a few questions. But I kind of already forgot what I was saying. Oh no, yeah, now I remember. Like I was saying earlier, so this man, he literally was just straight up complaining. I know he saw me, like trying to stop the situation, like trying to stop my friend from fighting my other friend because he was drunk. And he also saw all of it. It wasn't just me trying to stop him. It was all of us in our little friend group, specifically his girlfriend. I mean, especially his girlfriend too. That's what I meant. Sorry. And after we all tried to stop him, I know that the guy that made the complaint saw me like already having a rough time, having to stop a fight here during my shift. And then I know he did that on purpose, but he wanted to still make another issue with me and complain about a pizza that clearly wasn't burnt. Look, you guys, why don't I make one right now and show you exactly how it came out? Besides, there's only one left, so I might as well make one right now. Store could use it. Look, I'll make a pizza right now and show you exactly how it came out for the guy, so you guys could tell me, and I'll show you the review where the pizza is gonna look exactly the same too right now that I'm gonna make it. I'll show you guys the review too. Hold on. Look, I'm gonna make the pizza exactly like how I made it for this guy that complained that I left it burnt. And the thing is, it did come out a little black from the bottom, but they've always came out like that, like where it's a little black at the bottom. They've always came out like that. It's never changed. I can remember it since the day I started working here. They've all always came out like a little black at the bottom. But like that's a lot of food, and it was still edible. I know it was. I've seen people do this at many pizza places where they say that something is burnt when it's really not. Ouch, I just burned myself. So that's what I get for trying to do it with one hand. I really wish I had another phone so I could pull out that review that the guy left about me. But he literally left a whole review in Spanish, like saying that he was never gonna come back here again because I burned his pizza, and that he kindly asked me if I could make him another one or give him his money back. I have it all here on camera. He did not ask me kindly, and like I said, my friend was standing right there chilling. He was literally right there in that exact spot, just eating a bag of chips or eating candy. I don't know what he was doing. He was eating something, just chilling, like always. And he saw that the guy did not ask me kindly, but yeah, he wants to lie on the review. And then he's gonna say that I'm lying here on video when we have everything on camera. What's up, man? Sorry about that. I was attending a customer. Now this pizza is done. I left it in there a little bit longer by accident because I was attending someone that just walked out. I left it in there a little bit longer than when I did with the guy that complained about me burning it. Now I'm gonna still leave it in there a bit longer so you guys can see. And look. Yeah, that's exactly how it looked like. Exactly like this. Just like this. Literally, like, it's a literal twin. Now let me see if it came out black from the bottom, because here's the thing, my boss says that we got to put that netting in there so it doesn't come out black, and I didn't put the netting in. I don't think I put it that day either. So, see how black it is. Wow. Is that really that burnt, you guys? Is that really that burnt? I don't know. I think it looks okay. Ouch, that's hot. Yeah. It's a little black, but you know, I've seen many pizzas like that, so I don't know why ours is different when it comes out like that. Give me one sec. I'm gonna cut this. Alright, I finished cutting it. But yeah, I don't know what this guy's issue was. Let's take a look at the bottom of the slice. It's a little black. Well, that looks pretty delicious to me, actually. I'm just getting hungry looking at it and ripping it, squeezing the sauce out. Oh my God, sorry, I have too many things going on right now. Making pizza, making cookies. Gotta put some things away over there. Ah, that's hot. But anyway, you guys, that's all that happened that day. That night that my friend got blacked out drunk because he said he had drank a whole buzzball and then he was literally like more than halfway done on the second one, so he was pretty blacked out. Like the day after, he even told me, like, all I remember is being at the park. He's like, then someone sang We were gonna go to your job to 7-Eleven. Then, you see now, my friend that he tried fighting, we call him Melky. Now you see, Melky wanted my friend Ricardo, his name's Ricardo, the one that was drunk. Ricardo was sitting right there. Well, Melky just wanted a donut, and he jokingly pushed him, which Ricardo took it a little too. He took it the wrong way because he was blacked out, and then that's when he got physical with Melky. And I felt really bad because then Melky didn't even grab his donut anymore. Obviously, since someone tried to attack him and even hurt him a bit, he lost his donut appetite. But anyway, Ricardo and Melky and the rest of my friends, they fixed things. I just really couldn't believe that that guy wanted to give me a much harder time after he saw everything that had happened, because the police actually did come that day too, of course, because when Ricardo was being a little too out of control and really obnoxious, that's when I got really worried. I didn't know if he was, because when somebody's that drunk, you know, you don't know if they're gonna stop or not. So I just agreed and said, Ricardo's not gonna stop. I'm like, please call the police. So I called the police, and the moment I hear someone say 911, what's your emergency, I got nervous and I hung up. And of course the police came anyway, and they asked me and told me if everything was okay, because they know I'm always calling the police when someone steals. And that guy just wanted to give me a much harder time. Even my friend Shaggy saw. And even Shaggy. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention. After the guy was there complaining and looking at his pizza, because that's actually what happened. The moment I gave him his pizza, he opened it right here and started looking at it and told me, he was like, it is burnt. And I told him, I'm like, it comes out like that. He was like, no, it doesn't. Yeah, after he finally had left with his pizza, my friend Shaggy said that he went to the taco place right next door to show everybody if the pizza was burnt or not. And like I said, since the police came, because I called them that day because Ricardo was being a little too crazy, then he actually showed the police if the pizza was burnt or not. I don't know, but nobody agreed with him and said it was burnt. And they didn't want to agree with me either and say that my pizza always comes out like this when I make it, because I even tried telling him that the rule is we have to cook more. Oh, I didn't get that on video, but normally when the pizza beef side is done, we gotta open it, and when it says door open, we close it, and when we hit right there, cook more. I don't want to do it because I don't want to cook whatever is in there, which is nothing, and start a fire or something. All right, now let me bag up these cookies. That was one of the most craziest days for me ever, because this guy in the review, he said that he would never ever come back here again, and that I'm not the only employee that has disrespected him. He started saying things about my other coworker that they claim honestly, this is another issue I've experienced. Now, here's something I really want to talk about, because this is actually partially my fault for my coworker getting disrespected, because they expect him to do many things that I do, and when he says no and says that he's new and he can't do it, they just get mad. And I know that they get mad in hopes of him changing his mind, but they continue to stay here talking and arguing with him for a few minutes, hoping he'll say yes. And I know this is actually partially my fault, because I would do a lot of favors like that for people. And let me give you an example. When I'm about to throw these away, and when people see that, they would ask me, is any of that getting thrown out? And I would kindly give them whatever I would admit to me throwing out in a few minutes. But when they try doing that with the new guy doesn't give them any of the food we're throwing away, and then they wanna actually say the other guy does it, and they get mad because he argues and says, I'm new, I can't be doing all that. I respect him doing that, because most of the people that I train would actually fall for people's anger. And I know a guy that he literally sold a whole, I did train him here overnight too. He sold a whole 12-pack after hours, back when alcohol was still before at 2 a.m. and I know now it's at 12. Somebody came a little after 2. He actually sold a 12-pack by charging like 50 of these donuts, and actually let the person pay for the price of the 12-pack as donuts on Lean Card. And my boss got really mad at me. He was yelling like crazy. I mean, he was there like, he's like, that guy rung up 50 donuts. He's like, and then he sold it on Link. He's like, you're not supposed to sell alcohol with Link. Now everybody knows that, but I don't know why he did it. He was clearly just asking to get fired because, yeah, I don't know. he should have known better. Like, that guy was smarter than me. That guy was teaching me things. He was always telling me when I was wrong, if anything. And my boss, of course, would yell at me for this stuff. Just like how he yelled at me for Ricardo being drunk in here. And he did also, our security that we have here, AJ, he did also yell at him too. Because the thing is, he knows that we're all friends. He knows that we all talk to each other and get along and hang out outside of here. And anytime one of us does something retarded like this, he ends up getting mad at everybody, you know, because he assumes it's everybody. And, sorry, you're trying to print these out. How many? 6? There's been many times where, before I introduced Ricardo to the friend group that I have right now, they would always hang out here with me, literally really late. And oh my god, I was always the one getting in trouble for anything wrong they do. They'd break something, I was always the one getting in trouble. Even though my boss and manager would see on camera that it was them. And they would see that I would constantly be trying to tell them to leave or something. But I don't know, they just didn't like anything going on. And I know that they saw me trying to communicate with my friends on camera, telling them to stop acting the way that they would. But, I don't know. Being in their shoes, I could see why they would feel that way. And then being in their shoes, I could see why they say it's all my fault. But the thing is, I also think that my friends should know that I told them a few times that I would get in trouble for this stuff, but for some reason, there were many times that they continued to do a bunch of travesuras and a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing. One funny example that I really forever tell everybody, I tell a lot of customers this. And the thing is, I know this happens to all of us, where you're like, the one time I let it slide, I don't think anything serious is gonna happen. You're like, the one time I don't bring money, I don't think I'm gonna need it. Or you're like, the one time I don't eat, I don't think I'm gonna be that hungry. And the one thing you don't want to happen ends up happening. Hold on, let me finish betting and then I'll keep going. Almost done. Who doesn't love some chocolate chip cookies? Alright, but like I was saying, one time when I was working here on a Saturday afternoon with my friend David, I remember there was a kid, he looked like at least probably 19, but he was really short and skinny like me, so I thought he was like 16 or 17, but he probably would have been 18, because most kids nowadays that I think are minors always happen to be adults. And my point is, this guy that I'm assuming was like 18, he had to have been 18 at least. He was trying to buy alcohol. He was trying to buy 3 beatboxes. And then after I ID'd him, he actually told me, I'll give you $20, bro. He was like, come on. And now this other guy, Melky, that we know, I don't know why, but when he was standing right there when this happened and the customer was right there paying, he actually asked the boy and said, do you live around here, man? And the boy lied and said, I know he lied because he's always here. And people that are always here, they usually live around here. And if not, then they usually work around here. And they live somewhere else, like all the way in Berwyn. But I know this guy lives around here if he's always here with friends, because they always live around here if they're always here with friends. But my point is, this guy that lives around here, he lied and said he didn't live around here, and that's when our friend told him that he recommended he just waited till the overnight worker got here and he came back and stole them while he was working. And that's when the customer looks at me and says, yeah, he's like, what if I just steal them right now? And at that moment, I just grabbed the beatboxes away from the counter and put them to the side, and I got so mad at my friend. I was like, why the heck would you say that to him? And I was even thinking, I'm like, it's just one kid. And I was like, it was one time. Like, I highly doubt that one kid is gonna end up coming back constantly forever now. And oh my god, the one thing I said that wasn't gonna happen ended up happening. The kid kept coming back with an ID that was fake. Or it wasn't even a fake ID, it was a real ID, but I could tell on the picture that it wasn't him. And I was gonna say something, but at that point I got so mad. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not even gonna argue with this kid. I was like, I'm gonna argue with my friend that that told him to come back and steal it, because I know that gave him confidence to go and borrow somebody else's ID to constantly come back again and try to get the alcohol. And the thing is, he kept doing it for a while, but I don't know. Then he just stopped one day. I still see him every now and then with a girl, which I assume is his girlfriend, because they're always, I don't know, near each other. They're always touching each other when they're here. They're always flirting with each other. So I'm assuming it's most likely his girlfriend. But he doesn't try to buy alcohol anymore, because I'm assuming that he knows, we all know, he's not 21, and that we've been very strict about that lately, because something happened not too long ago where a Cicero employee sent one of their kids in here to buy like a pack of cigarettes or something, or a vape, or I don't know, it was something back there, they said, but they said it was in the afternoon, and an employee actually sold it to them. So we've been having to be very strict about that now, which reminds me to another funny incident about that, where I had a kid, even the security that's usually here, AJ, the security said that this kid looked like 18 or 19, because AJ saw him up close, because he actually, I'll tell you right now why he spoke to AJ personally. But the kid was here with about, it was a large group, it was at least 7 or 9 people, and then he tried getting a bottle of Hennessy for all of them. They were all getting snacks and sodas and juice and whatnot, and then the kid then asked me, he was like, can I get the bottle of Henny? And that's when I had just been told that I needed to start IDing people more often. So I asked him, I was like, can I see your ID? And he right away looked around, got nervous, and told me it's in the car. And I told him, I'm like, can you get it, please? I'm like, I forget our system now asked me to scan all IDs. And that's when he just got nervous and just kept walking around in circles, and I don't know. And he just didn't go and get his ID, or even tell me that he wasn't going to get his bottle of Hennessy. So I just put the bottle of Hennessy back and just rung up all his things. Next thing I see, he's over there talking to the security, and I can't even understand or hear what they're saying. And the security, when the kid leaves with his friends, the security then tells me what the little 18-year-old wanted. He was like, oh, he ended up asking me, like, hey, bro, you drink, you smoke? He's like, you do any of that? And the kid then asked our security, he's like, do you think you could buy me the bottle of Henny? Thankfully, though, since our security is, he doesn't drink or smoke or do any of that, so, like, I'm not even trying to, like, lie or anything. Like, even our boss said he didn't believe that, but our security doesn't even like when we're smoking or drinking outside of work, like in the friend group. So yeah, he didn't want to buy it for the kid, and he told the kid that he wouldn't buy it for him and that he recommended. He just left already, and that's when the kid left. And I kid you not, what had happened, me and AJ were talking about why, me and the security, AJ, that's his name, we were talking about why it's important to bring your ID. And then that kid came back, and he immediately assumed we were talking shit about it. And he's like, you guys are talking shit about me? He's like laughing like, yeah, you were. He bought a slice of pizza when he came back. And as me and Asia kept talking about our business, he came back in again to buy another slice of pizza. And then 10 minutes later, he came back a third time to buy a slice of pizza. What's up, man? Hey, man, you ever try the cookies we make here? Yeah.
I don't like cookies, but I always get the donuts.
You never tried the cookies that like we have over there?
Nah.
No.
Are they good or something?
They're pretty good when you microwave them, or when they just came out the oven. Alrighty, thank you. Alrighty, he's gone. Now. Oh, great. Now I actually did forget what I was saying. I remembered when he walked in, but now I forgot what I was telling you guys. Oh yeah, about that little sport that tried buying alcohol. If I'm being real honest, I don't know how these kids just literally do it out of confidence. Like, actually try and hope and not fear of getting caught. Because when I was little and I did all of these kinds of troublemaking things, like, you guys have no idea. Like, there was always someone in the street that knew me or knew my parents and would always snitch on them. Like, for example, when I first started to purchase weed from the street, oh my god, so many people that knew my mom were like, oh, she's like, my friends are telling me that they see you in the street high. And that's so annoying. There was a time where I used my mom's money to buy something I wasn't supposed to. And she was like, one of my customers said she saw you eating the bread outside. I was like, oh my god. I was like, just when I didn't think I'd get caught from using my mom's money. But yeah, that happened years ago where my mom was like, go to Walgreens and buy me something using my money. And I was like, she's not here. I was like, she won't know that I'm buying a slice of bread. And one of her friends ended up seeing me and told her. And I was like, oh, of course. And that is why I fear doing these kinds of things. And that is why I always have when I was a kid. But these kids, I don't know, it's just the way that their parents raised them. I've seen many parents, they simply just don't care that their kids do these things. Like, honestly, I stopped doing things about this, but what's it called? Oh, shoot. I did it wrong. I gotta take them out. But yeah, like I was saying, I've seen this many times where an adult, like a father, will be buying Monacos, and they'll be like literally like 13 or 14-year-old kids with them, and he'll even say that he's gonna buy some for them too. And I'll want to say something about it, but they've already told me, many places have already told me that we can't do anything about that if an adult is buying it. There was another time where I had an African American female that bought a pack of blunts. And then she lied and said, oh, I forgot. She's like, I want another one. And she was like, oh, she's like, I can't remember which one I wanted. And she then asked the daughter, like, quietly thinking I wouldn't hear. She's like, which one did you want? And the daughter tries to whisper and, like, say, white grape. And she's like, I'm sorry, which one? And to show them that I knew what they were doing, I personally asked the daughter out loud. I was like, which one do you want? And yeah. And I just sold it to them because, like I said, my boss already told me we can't do anything about that if it's an adult purchasing it. Regardless if they tell us it's gonna be for them. But I mean, like, if we want, we can always refuse service, but I always choose to just leave it alone because if anything happens, the adult is the one, I mean, her mom is the one that's giving her the blunt in the end, not us. And yeah, that used to be a really big issue because we would take that really serious. The boss would ask us to be very serious about that. There was actually a time where somebody came to try to buy alcohol and they didn't have an ID. And then they came back with friends, and one of their friends tried getting the exact same thing that the guy that didn't have his ID tried getting. And that's when they actually had a whole argument and said, they're like, he just tried getting this. They're like, why are you trying to get it for him? And that's when my boss told us all, he's like, yeah, he's like, if you guys ever see something like that, please never sell it to them. But now the boss says that we really can't do anything about it. As long as we don't sell it to anybody without an ID or anybody that we know is underage. It's always a mess back here, as you can see. This garbage is always full. Yep, I knew it. It's always like that. There's another funny incident that, well, there are many, I just can't really remember which one might be the funniest to talk about right now. I gotta post the pictures to this later. I really wish I would have took a video of it when this happened. A couple years ago, actually. Look, we could still actually kind of see the stains right where I like to start off my videos here. But, as you can see here, a couple years ago, where was it that it happened? Oh, okay, hold on. Gotta get my cookies. We didn't always have to make these cookies here at the store ourselves. We used to get them sent, packaged to us. But honestly, I think it's better this way because we would only ever, like, I kid you not, we would only ever get like 3 or 4 cookies. And I know each one has 2 of them, so yeah. We would only get like 3 or 4 little bags of cookies. Now we can make them ourselves. What the heck? I don't know, I feel like that's crooked, but it's all good. Alrighty. Screw it, I'll leave these out here in case I want to make more. Now earlier a guy that only spoke Spanish came in saying if I wanted this filet-o-fish, and he was saying that he doesn't like fish and that he didn't even realize it was fish, and he just asked me if I want. I told him I didn't like filet-o-fish, and I'm honestly very picky when it comes to McDonald's too, so let me know in the comments, do you guys like filet-o-fish? My dad would always smack on that. He's always liked it, and I know he still does. I'm gonna make some more coffee. Is that overflowing? Okay, not yet. Oh, here they are. I always think about continuing to film early in the morning, but I just don't know how my boss and manager are going to react when they see me working while filming with my phone. But what was I going to say? Sorry, I'm just trying to make this coffee. I don't even remember which one is missing now. Alright, the decaf and 7 house. And somebody just got here. That's great. I'm going to have to pause for a bit after I find this coffee. Buenas. These wings have been there since I don't know how long, so to the garbage. And these cookies are starting to bake. My coffee's making. Now I gotta make my... Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. This one doesn't work. That one's broken. Alright, yeah, I'll move it right now in a bit. Something else I wanted to explain to you earlier. What was I gonna say? Now this happened a few months ago, like not even a year ago, when one of my favorite retired cop regulars was here. He's a retired police officer, and he was actually here talking to me when he witnessed this happening. Like, it scared us both because we didn't even know what was happening. I thought like a shelf here fell, or I don't know. I don't know what these things are called. I used to know what they're called, but I forgot these little rectangle things up there. Now, if you could see, these 4 are a different texture than the others. And the reason why is because a few months ago, one of the pipes that runs up here on the Slurpee, one of the pipes, the Slurpee closet is all the way over there by the exit sign in that door actually. The pipes or wires run all the way like that here to the machine. And one of the wires, I don't know, it was leaking or it had a hole or something. And then the liquid started to pile up on these little things, or these giant things. And when me and this retired cop were speaking, all we hear is a loud whoosh, and it was a massive amount of Slurpee liquid that fell. Probably a whole bag, probably a whole 20 pounds of Slurpee. Some of it's still here actually, if you could pay attention. Look, see? It fell all right here actually on top. All this, like literally everything here, like every single one of these was filled with Slurpee. I kid you not. A lot of stuff here too is still very stained. Let me try to find something that got stained. These little boxes that actually have AirPods in them, a lot of them got stained and still are, because Slurpee fell everywhere here. Some Slurpee's actually still in there from that incident. I'll show the pictures to this day later, but yeah, it was one of the worst days ever. I didn't get to go home till like 2.5 hours after my shift, and nobody got to get to work because, or nobody was able to get to work because we were all too busy here trying to help clean up and wipe the Slurpee was on the walls, on the merchant. That we had to throw away a lot of candy. It was horrible. Such a calamity. One of the worst shifts ever. Even the store owner, Jeff, said it was one of the worst days ever. He lost a lot of money. We had to throw away a lot of things. I think there was a time where, oh yeah, this was bad because like I don't know who did this or why he has this, but for some reason he has a few open cans. Or okay, yeah, these aren't even open. Oh, that's why, because when he finds them popped, he usually opens them. I don't know why, but when he opens them, he leaves them there. As you can see, look, one right there is open, but somebody probably spilled it and then stepped on it. And when he had these open cans here, for some reason, these little paper things that I used to make coffee, look, these things, whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called. Those things, somebody left. We have them in here actually. They come like that. Somebody left a whole new like box of these back there, and then somebody knocked over the open beers that our boss has right there in his office. And let me tell you, all of those things over there were covered in beer, all of them. And I even asked Jeff, I was like, "There's no way we could wait for them to dry and save them." And we were both like, "Nope." We're like, "Coffee's gonna taste like straight up beer." And we had to throw a whole box of those away. He was very, 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 very angry. He once got angry and started yelling at me because a drunk knocked over one of these displays and I didn't know how to rebuild it. And he got very angry and was yelling. So you do not want to know how angry he was that day when he lost a whole box of these little paper things. But if I'm being really honest, I don't blame my boss for getting angry at the most obvious things like that, because like it really annoys me that many people here, when they fool around, they think it's okay, but then when I'm fooling around, it's such a big deal and I get called out for it by everybody. But when everybody else fools around, it's no big deal. Nothing wrong there. When everybody was coming in late, they weren't telling them anything. There was a guy that worked here, actually, I kid you not, like every day he would come in an hour and 30 minutes late on his shift. And meanwhile, another girl that they relied on the most, that everybody liked, she would always get here like 10 or 15 minutes late. But then when my girlfriend that also works here started getting here late, it was a whole different story. Like, they told me, they were like, she got to stop being late. And then when I told them, I was like, but everybody else is late, like, what's the deal? They literally said, like, this is about her, not anyone else. And I was the one arguing with them when this happened. I told them, I was like, so everybody else being late is not our concern? And yeah, we were having a whole argument about this, and I really do not understand why they didn't say anything about anybody coming in late. But my girlfriend that works here started coming in late for the first time, and oh yeah, then it's an issue. And then they told everybody to stop coming in late. Then everybody started to show up on time. Which I don't know why. They should have told everybody to start coming in on time since the day they noticed one person coming in late. It's called favoritism, you guys. Honestly, like, oh, hold up. Alrighty. No, I forgot what I was saying, honestly, but what's it called? I thought I remember another funny incident here that had happened, other than the Slurpee falling down from there. Oh god, I just ate a bag of Kettles. Now I'm spiced out. Oh my god. Let me get water. It's really hurting my mouth to speak. I mean, burning. Now about that incident where my friend Ricardo got drunk and the guy was complaining about his pizza being burnt. Another issue I noticed, not only did that I put his pizza in here and then hit cook more, but I remember I took it out like immediately after I hit cook more, because this has happened to all of us many times where we hit cook more and we have a line or we're too busy doing something and we don't have time to pull it out right away. But we know that it's not gonna burn with it staying in there for like 10 or 15 extra seconds. We know it's not gonna burn. And I did not leave it in there for the guy for 10 or 15 seconds. I took it straight out. Now I know we've left it in there for a longer period of time, then it's never burnt. And I even demonstrated that today where I left it in there for a while and I took my time pulling it out. And it did not come out burnt. Alright, hold on. So honestly, I don't know what his problem was. Like, he even asked one of my friends himself if it was burnt, which they told him no. And he just kept on insisting that it was burnt. And of course, he got mad because I told him. The thing is, like, I guess this is why he took it as an offense or something. Like, after he told me constantly times that it was burnt and he kept annoying me with that, that's when I kind of got mad and told him in like a aggressive way that it wasn't burnt, because I wanted him, because he saw that I was by myself, he saw that I had a line, he saw I was doing Uber Eats orders, and he actually wants to stay in the store just to complain and start an argument. And for what? A pizza that had 3 black dots on it and it was a little black from the bottom, when they've always came out like that. I'm sure there's people out there that take pictures of their pizza when they buy it from here for the memories, and I guarantee you that those Snapchat memories are going to look exactly like the picture of that bad review he left of me. Like, I really don't see the issue with that, because honestly, I mainly wanted to talk about that today. Something that really, because even my boss now forever, I don't know if this is a way of him making fun of me or just calling me out for that. He always tells employees in front of me, like, oh, he's like, make sure you guys put the black net. He's like, we don't want to burn this pizza again. So I don't know, but he never actually talked to me personally about it, where he was like, a guy came complaining about you, blah, blah, blah. And I wonder why. Not even the manager told me that guy came complaining about me. And the thing is, I've had many people come here during the morning or afternoon to complain about me. And the thing is, like, they will never actually come do it to my face while I'm working. They're always gonna want to say it to somebody else, and yet they still come by the store like that. Like when I'm working and in the afternoon, they come by all the time. I guess people want to make complaints about it. They make complaints about just about literally every employee, but the real question is, I don't know how many times they've made complaints about them. I don't want to say any names or any descriptions, but we have an employee that works here that is known to, like, how do I explain her? She's been here the longest out of most people, so she's like, the way people describe her is like bossy, but I wouldn't say she's bossy. I'd say she's just always trying to help and always trying to get us to do things on time, but everybody talks about her and says she's bossy. I'd say she's had the most complaints, but I simply don't understand what people expect from her. Like, people always disrespect her too. People are always trying to take advantage of her, and people simply get mad because she's the only one around here that actually does her job the way she's supposed to and actually takes it seriously. Like, honestly, she's best friends with the store owner, because she's the only one that actually makes sure is that she does everything the way we're all supposed to. And she's the only one that makes sure nobody walks out, like, no employees walk out with anything free. Because we all do that, I'm not gonna lie. Give me one sec. Sorry about that, I was taking some people that were getting coffee. Now that they're gone, yeah, I really did get annoyed and stressed that day that my friend decided to fight my other friend being too drunk, and then the cops came. And then, what's it called? Something else happened that day, I forgot. So Ricardo tried fighting Melky, the guy complained about the pizza, and then I forgot, the cops came a third time. I think someone stole that day, actually. I can't remember. Just remember the cops came 3 times. Because I thought that when he showed the police his pizza, I thought he showed the same cop that I called from my phone, but I was actually wrong. He showed another cop that was in the area. Well, that one didn't get called, and they were just here, but then we had to call him again. I forgot why. They even told me, like, we were here earlier. I forgot why we had to call them again. I don't even remember. I think someone tried stealing. Now, I don't know what is up with these bananas, why they get like this really fast. Okay, that's disgusting. They usually last us a little over a week, but lately they've only been lasting us a few days. I think somebody just got here. Well, that's the end of today, you guys. I really enjoyed explaining to you that whole incident, and I really cannot wait to show you on another video how the guy left a bad review of me, and he even posted a picture of the pizza that was, I don't know, I guess it was burnt. We'll say it was burnt just for his sake. But yeah, I'll show you guys in another video a picture of that pizza that was apparently burnt and the review he left of me, and other reviews people have left of me and other employees here. I'll probably post it on Wednesday, if anything, because I gotta do it on a day that I'm off, so I have time and actually can do and explain everything in the video and not let work distract me, because it's very hard to actually film and still have to work at the same time. But I'm still managing to do it just because I want to. Alright, but I hope to see you guys in another video, alright? Adios.